We start the day's other news here in the U.S. The FBI is investigating incidents of alleged bomb threats and so-called swatting attacks against several of President-elect Trump's cabinet picks and appointees. Swatting is when law enforcement is called against a target under false pretenses. In a statement, a Trump spokesperson said the victims, quote, were targeted in violent, un-American threats to their lives and those who live with them. Separately, Trump has tapped Keith Kellogg to be special envoy for Ukraine and Russia. The retired Army lieutenant general served as chief of staff on Trump's National Security Council during his first term. Kellogg is poised to play a vital role as Trump has signaled he wants to bring a swift end to the war. Two closely watched congressional races were called today, leaving just one still undecided. In California, Democrat Derek Tran defeated the incumbent Republican in the state's 45th district, which is centered in Orange County. And in Iowa, Republican Marionette Miller Meeks won re-election in the state's 1st congressional district after a recount confirmed her victory. That win gives Republicans just a bit more breathing room as they look ahead to holding a razor-thin majority in the House come January. The final undecided race is in California. 3 Americans who've been imprisoned in China were released today in a rare diplomatic breakthrough with Beijing in the waning months of the Biden administration. One of them is Kai Li, seen here in a photograph held up by his son. He had been jailed since 2016, accused of spying. John Lee Jung was sentenced for espionage last year. The third, Mark Sweden, was sentenced to death on drug charges. On a separate but related note, the State Department lowered its travel warning to China today, saying Americans should, quote, exercise increased caution when traveling to the mainland. The previous guidance had been to reconsider travel altogether. The U.S. denounced sanctions today on 21 allies of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. That comes nearly 4 months after he claimed victory in the country's highly disputed presidential election. The sanctions target military and cabinet officials aligned with Maduro. They come a week after the Biden administration recognized opposition leader Edmundo Gonzalez as the nation's president-elect. He fled for exile in Spain 2 months ago. Ohio's governor has signed into law a measure that would ban transgender students from using multi-person bathrooms that fit their gender identities. The new law says public and private schools must have separate facilities for the exclusive use of males and females based on their assigned gender at birth. Ohio joins at least 11 other states who have similar such bathroom laws. 24 states have measures that dictate which sports transgender women and girls can play, and 26 states have laws restricting or banning gender-affirming care for transgender minors. On Wall Street today, stocks slipped ahead of the Thanksgiving break. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell more than 100 points, or about 1/3%. The Nasdaq also shed more than 100 points. The S&P 500 snapped a 7-session winning streak, giving back about 20 points. In South Korea, the biggest snowstorm in more than 50 years blanketed the nation's capital. Up to 10 inches of snow fell in parts of Seoul and nearby areas. Hundreds of flights were canceled and icy conditions disrupted traffic. But many seemed happy with the weather, including a pair of giant panda twins at a Korean zoo. They're seeing snow for the first time in their young lives. And before putting turkey on the table, millions of Americans will first need to navigate the Thanksgiving travel rush, which is expected to be the busiest ever. TSA was prepared to screen 2.9 million people at airports across the country today. They're expecting even more on Sunday when people return home. Car traffic also clogged highways this afternoon, but forecasters say it should be smooth sailing for those who plan to hit the road tomorrow. And perhaps no one will be further from home this Thanksgiving than these NASA astronauts. They showed off their holiday fare ahead of tomorrow's feast.
We're thankful for zero gravity. It's fantastic. And of course, in a personal sense, our family, our friends, those that are lifting up prayers for us and have been, we're grateful for that. We're grateful for a nation that is a spacefaring nation that lets us live free, say what we think is important to say, and so many other things.
Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams have been on the International Space Station since June, months longer than expected because of safety concerns with Boeing's Starliner capsule. Their families will certainly be thankful for their safe return, which is expected in February of next year. Still to come on the NewsHour, how Donald Trump's re-election fits into a broader acceptance of authoritarian leadership. Judy Woodruff explores how psychology can help bridge our divisions this Thanksgiving. And a new exhibit highlights the intersection of art and the brain.
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein studio at WETA in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.